All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order, and we have the minutes of September 20th.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from September 20th.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
We have warrants 7 and 7P.
I'll make a motion that we approve warrants 7 and 7P.
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion? Let's see, warrant 7 is for $14,831.16. And that was going to, among other things, fuel, payroll transfers, property tax refunds, the sheriff's monthly bill, and a Wyndham Solid Waste Management District quarterly payment. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. ARPA funding. The community center, there's a request for $5,285 for basement air exchanger and boiler fresh air estimate from Gassett Energy.
You
And
wanna-
I imagine Paul Chapman, are you here to
Yes, I'm
talk
here.
about that? Yeah.
Randy was supposed to have all the model number that you requested,
Okay.
and that stuff. I just texted him, but it's a air exchanger.
Should we wait till later in the agenda then?
It's up to you. I mean, I can explain what I know about
Yeah,
it.
that's yours.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
well, here we go. I'm off the hook then.
His name was said 3 times. That's all high.
Okay, all right.
There you go, Randy. That's all you gotta.
Dramatic walk on. Okay. All right, well, once you catch your breath, we're waiting.
Okay,
You have some information about the air exchanger.
I don't have any particular details. I was trying to get a hold of Mr. Gassett, and I have not been able to get a hold of him. And with the discussions we had with Paul, he seemed to be in the same wavelength about, I can't remember all the terms. In the air exchanger with the
recovery ventilator.
Yeah, recovery, yep. And it's just for the basement. The crawl space under the south classroom, the kitchen, and the storage area, and the big room that's downstairs. And we've had a lot of compliments on the air quality down there because we've been exchanging air continuously every day, except Paul closed the windows so it's too cold. But it shows that it does work. It gets rid of the smell because it's been closed up for years. And so it has really improved it. So, but that doesn't work good in the winter. It'll just be sucking up the heat. There might be a slight increase in the fuel with that because you aren't going to recover all the air going out. But I think that was one of the specifics in that report that said, contact an HVAC, somebody else to, get some fresh air and humidity control.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think we've got some more work to do on that. If you folks have any more specifics in the types or things, and we can compare that with the quote, we could do that. That might mean delaying the decision tonight, or can you put it on there as a hold on the funds?
Yeah, I hate delaying it too long because the money's quickly disappearing. I guess my interest in when I called you yesterday was finding out if it's a heat recovery ventilator or an energy recovery ventilator. One of them deals with humidity differently than the other. And I was curious about the brand that was being recommended and the model.
Okay. That I can't provide right now. It definitely is, a heat recovery of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I described it has all the discs in there, different types. Where
Yeah, some of them just recover heat from the outgoing air and transfer it to the incoming air. Some also regulate the humidity. And
is that through refrigeration components?
no, it's
Or passive?
it's again those wheels.
It's
that
the
I'm
way
not-
those work, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so where do we stand on this?
Well, where do you think we stand on it, Alex?
Well, my preference would be to, learn a little bit more about it, but I don't want to hold up the process if that could threaten approval. I think it's a great thing to do to provide better air quality in the building and control humidity in the basement. And it's probably a fine product. I just, spending the money, I'm curious what that product is.
And the vendor on that is certified with Efficiency Vermont. He does, you can get after the job is done with these devices, you can submit the product and what was done to see what kind of
Okay,
rebate.
so it's a product that meets the Efficiency Vermont
Yes.
requirements?
Yep.
Okay, well, that's.
That was where we started, kind of base one on that.
Mhm.
Can't tell you what that is, but they have to make some decisions in the way it and how much was spent. And he is also certified to install those with Efficiency Vermont, because they say you have to get a contractor to propose it. So I think we're on good footing there to get the right thing. We could probably lean on or see what else comes out of the humidity factor on that.
And the other one, the fresh air, boiler fresh air, that's just replacement air for the combustion air for the boiler?
Yeah, basically it's a vent, like conduit, square, rectangular vent that hooks directly to the boiler and goes out the window and goes up the wall a little bit because it's right behind that handicap ramp, and it fills up with snow, and there's a window there that water runs in. That's half of our problem we're fixing. So that's all it is duct work and an adapter that hooks onto the burner for the fresh air. And then we can now leave the door closed, which was part of the fire marshal's recommendation, that not leave it open for the fresh air, so we kind of get both things handled at once. And that's just duct work and some labor. And that'll be done in conjunction with the drainage between the handicap ramp and the building. Because that two of those windows are going to be filled in, but we'll make sure that we get the right size opening to put that vent in. And that's kind of a coordination effort there.
Okay. So the Energy Star, Efficiency Vermont.
Yeah, that gives me
Seal
enough
of
confidence, but I want to mention that the Energy Committee would be glad to meet with you, and in fact, our October meeting, rather than happening Monday, is going to be October 16th, I think it's the 16th, if any of you are able to join from the Community Center Board.
Is that going to be a Zoom meeting?
We would like to do it in person, mainly because we have a new committee member and we'd like to just do face to face. Normally since COVID really, we've mainly been meeting through Zoom.
Like to do a field trip on that meeting?
Well, it would be great. I think you mentioned that, or Randy mentioned that all of the Mondays in October were
Cribbage and
Don't blame me for that. You guys can come in while we're in there and do whatever you want.
What time do they start?
6. It
Six.
starts at
So what
6
if we
a.m.
met at 5? Would that be feasible?
Yeah, because an hour would be
Yeah.
good then, the community center.
we can show
Because we
you
have to-
the basement work we were doing. That's not part of the foundation work, that's part of another recommendation was taking out a large tank for water that they were worried about. But we cut that hole down so we can, while this is going on, to pre-plumb it before we pour a floor in there. So we have the ability to put a bathroom in there someday, but while the floor's, open and exposed.
Right, yeah, I saw that when I was down there a couple weeks
It
ago.
looks
Yeah.
like hell, but
But like in your question on the insulation, the walls that we're talking about on the outside don't lend themselves for insulation. Now the block walls, if you guys are interested in insulating those, we'd love that also, but that's another project.
Yeah, on the new addition block walls, that wasn't, there's gonna be a little drainage slopage away, but it's not getting into the wall, because the dirt slopes up. And there's some pockets where the water runs up against the building.
So you're
We'll take
adjusting
care
the
of most,
drainage to carry water away.
yeah, we're gonna do just surface drainage right now along with that retaining wall that goes against the original building. And that'll be sloped away from the building, which should help a little bit.
There's like 2.5 foundations that are stacked together on that, from the old section to the new section. That's seen better days that we're planning on fixing with that, the last ARPA.
Yeah.
Now, what date was that? Did you want to do it?
It's Monday, October 16th. And we haven't warned that yet because it's not our usual date. Someone was going to be out of town, so we'll be warning that. And it'd be great to meet at the community center. And then if we have to leave at 6 with something going on, we can.
Most of the stuff that we want to show you will be outside of the cribbage area.
Okay.
You can work in on the cribbage if you want. It's pretty intense at times.
It's pretty rough.
Particularly at the end of the sessions where the championship is.
Okay. Is money changing hands at this event?
No, only Gus giving us money, which by the way, if you want to stop, in fact, that Monday night, I'll give you the money.
Okay.
So it'll be there. So
And we're asking for money for everything.
we see where we rent it.
One thing the Energy Commission, we should be looking at, we didn't address it this go around, but the library and the other room all have Walmart air conditioners. And it might pay to look at some kind of heat pump system at that point and get those out of there.
Yeah.
And the inspection didn't like the extension cords they were running on, but
Yeah, Doug and I did meet with Jean, but we think that the feedback we gave her didn't get back to the rest of the board. And it was
Okay.
during that transition period when the board was switching over.
okay.
So, Doug and I spent maybe an hour there and came up with recommendations, but those may not have seen the light of day.
We can go over that again.
Good.
And the select board gonna meet over in the community center this winter. We'd love to have you. But that was mostly based on COVID that you went over, I believe, right?
Yes.
The invitation's open.
Yeah. We will see. Yeah. We'll discuss that at another meeting. I know they're going to paint the white lines on East-West Road. So it'll make it easier going.
Well, I imagine we'll, call you to have, 1 or 2 meetings at some point over there.
Where there's
Yeah.
going to be a larger crowd.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Well, let's see, that $5,285 for those improvements still on the table. What would you like to do?
I'll make a motion that we authorize the community center to proceed with the basement air exchanger and boiler fresh air. The estimate came from Gassett Energy for $5,285.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right.
Any other questions for us you would like to, on any, while we're here?
I don't have any. You have any questions for us?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great, well,
I'm gonna hang
Thank
out
you.
for a bit.
Yeah.
I don't feel like, they.
There you go. Let you hang out.
thanks for.
Have a good night.
coming over.
Thanks.
Okay, well, here's the visitors and public comment. Do we have any public comment? Okay, moving on, the road foreman's report. And the big news from the road foreman was that Lewis White took his CDL potentially passed it with flying colors, is what
Flying
we've
colors,
been
right?
told. Yes. So congratulations to Lewis. That has, I guess we have 5 people with CDLs on the town. So that's always good. Let's see. What else did Lee tell me?
Right of way on West Street.
Is there any
No update on
no
that.
update on that? Let's see. Lewis, Lee told me, let's see, they've been grading, and they finished putting in about 10 different culverts
Culverts.
around town.
Yes.
And
Been doing mowing.
yeah, just finishing off the mowing. So, anything else from that
No, I think that's much.
report? There might be something else, but it slipped my mind. Comes back, I'll revisit. Is there anything under correspondence for information you'd like to discuss?
The DRB hearing, is that scheduled for here?
I think it's site visits, and then,
The hearings are here.
yeah,
They have site visits before them. At each of the locations, I believe one's at 5 and one's at 5:30.
I think so.
And then they come back here for their hearings.
Yep. Okay, moving on. Is there any update on the emergency watershed protection program?
Well, they came Friday. A couple of folks from their cultural artifacts and
right.
archaeology department.
Mhm.
So that whenever the plans are being drawn up, we want to make sure there's nothing of concern for that type of work. The only thing that they found, which I knew anyway, is there's an old mill on that east end of those 3 houses there that they'd have to not disturb. Still parts and pieces down there, but that would really only be for access to the area.
Yeah.
Because it's really further up. That's the problem. So they visited both sites. They've got what they need, and we'll hear back from the engineers at some point. So
Okay. All right. And employee reviews.
don't look at me quizzically. I emailed it to everybody. Did you read it?
Yeah, thank you for
No, I didn't.
filling that out.
Well, what's your email address? It's like
Yeah,
whatever goose
Right.
is the one I used.
Okay. Oh, well.
It has goose in it. I'm like, well, that's got to be it. So
Yeah, that's, I didn't see that. The geese might have seen it.
the
but
geese. Yeah, I see.
I'll,
Right.
I'll,
So
I'll email you.
I scanned it and emailed it to everybody.
Okay, great. All right. Then, you ready for new business?
Yep.
Okay. We have ARPA updates, discussion possible, the Park Laughton Road structure estimate. I think we approved Lee sending that out for
And I
bid.
spoke to Lee to have him send that up. To have it.
We haven't heard,
Right,
nothing back yet.
Right.
Okay. Well, let's see, something we could sign is the errors and omission certificate from the listers. And this is just a change in value for a property.
I'll make a motion that we sign the errors and omission certificate from the listers.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Are you sure this is one we signed?
Yes.
Okay.
This is what we sign.
That's my only
I
discussion.
checked that out.
Checked it just as we were.
Don't want to get reprimanded.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. Start passing it around. Let's see, is there any other new business?
The Views of Dummerston article that I sent to Roger and Linda, he asked if they could put in a box.
It's all right.
Put in a box with listing the different committees and commissions where we're looking for volunteers, and also noting the treasurer position. And Zeke and I have both responded on that. So I think that's all set.
Okay. Great. Any other new business?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that.